Hey guys, Robin here, and I'm going to hopefully put off some light bulbs and some heads out there about stop words and how really how to do keyword research. I know some people, I think they just spit out all these lists of keywords and they're doing it in like an hour, and I just have to wonder. It takes me a while to do keyword research. But and hopefully after you watch this video, this might give you a shortcut and make it easier on you. Because I'm gonna kind of jump a little bit from one thing to the next. But Amy was in the group today, and she had found a great keyword: how to learn to sew, and has only got 22 people competing for it. And this is why it's so important not to just rely on one result from Jaxie to run off with a keyword, because how and to are stop words, okay? Learn how to sew. How to is a stop word. To is a stop word, but you need the to in there, and you see it's still the same thing. I wish I had another window. Let's look at this. 1096 and 219. Now look over here. 1000, about the same. Let's take the how out and let's see what happens then. So what's happening here in reality is this is just different ways that people type the keyword into Google. You see, it's still the same number. It's just the different ways. Google is not going to return a different result when it's really the same question that's being asked. Therefore, Google is going to return, this is your actual keyword that you are competing for. You can't take into consideration, and if you take all of these and take them to Google and put it on the first page, chances are very well, actually it's 100% right now because I've already done it, that the same websites show up no matter what. So this is the actual keyword that you are competing for. And people are like, well, gosh, where does that leave me? That leaves you with going for long tail keywords, adding a how to or a when or a what. I mean, sometimes it matters. That's why you have to take it one step further to Google. You cannot rely just on this keyword. But anyway, you're just throwing in stop words, thinking, or trying to, or you might want to put in learning to sew. Let's try that. Just, let's add an ing and see if that's different. When it's all the same thing. Down here when you're going to beginners, sew clothing. Okay, anyway, that one is a little different, but I'm just kind of curious. I've got my salt block stuff up over here. I've already looked to see. I'm wondering if that's going to make a difference. See, that's what you want to do. You want to go and really see, and let's see. It's the same stuff. It's the same stuff that was on there for learn how to sew or how to learn how to sew. So you have to, right here, like learning to sew for beginners, learning to sew, learning to, teaching your kids to sew, learning to sew for kids, learning how to sew, sew my a dress, sew whatever, learn how to sew with leather. This is when you get into long tail keywords. You can't just flip the words around in a different order, because all this is you type in what you think how you think someone is searching for it, and people do search. Some people will add the how to, some people won't, but Google doesn't see it as any different. Now here I'm going to go to my salt block site, and we're just going to put my keyword was grilling salmon on a salt block. And what is really interesting here, and I rank on the first page consistently, and you're about to see why. Grilling salmon on a salt block. Here we go. What did I do different here? Grilling salmon. Oh, I didn't put block on it. Okay, here's my keyword. Sorry. You'll see why. That says 0 competition. I can just put salmon on a salt block. No matter how I put this in, there's hardly any competition. It really doesn't matter how I put it in. The competition is low. Therefore, I had a winner. How to cook salmon on a salt block. So you can put almost any of these terms into Google, and I rank on the first page, almost on every one of them. What is interesting here to me as well is grilled salmon on a salt block and cooking salmon on a salt block, or the same thing show up on the first page. That's kind of interesting. I'm not, because I don't really know. To me, grilling and cooking is two different things, although I guess maybe they are the same. So, it really does help to take this stuff to the first page. So I don't know if you've seen my video, how to rank, ranking for multiple keywords in Google. This is why you can rank for multiple keywords. If you can get the main keyword, the main keyword in this is just learn to sew, and you want to find a keyword. So no matter how you put this, learning to sew, learn how to sew, how to learn to sew, it's the same thing. Google sees it as the same thing, and it renders the same results. So this is actually what you're competing for. This is when you have to go down to the long tail keywords. Learn to sew like a pro. I'd be really curious to see what that one does. Of course, not many people look for that. Learn to sew at home. Learn to sew patterns. I mean, you've got to be more specific. Just learn to sew is just too broad. How to cook salmon would be too broad, but how to cook salmon on a salt block is not too broad, and you can get it narrowed down like that. Salt block is not a stop word. Clothing is not a stop word. Leather is not a stop word. So anyway, I'm hoping so much that this has made some sense and will help you with your keyword search. So always start broad first and see what you're actually dealing with, and then go from there. I always start broad. I just start broad, and then I drill down. I don't go the other way around. And that's it, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.